I want your help on the Concert for World Peace. I want people concerned to take on Kurt as a concern and then help me take on the world as a concern to get people off the streets and get the medical attention and help they need. Victims of crimes, victims of black markets, victims of sex trade, victims of bullshit that our government should have handled fucking years ago. If you saw some of the stuff I released in the last 48 hours, I'm surprised I'm still standing here talking to you. Have you heard of HumanPlex Project?
No.
You have or not?
No, I have not.
You should take a look at it. It is human sex trade all over North America. You can Google it. It brings up police that are involved in it and all kinds of jack shit. What the fuck? The sex trade is real. Humana Project. The stuff I've been blowing the whistle on that's been nearly getting me whacked goes well beyond the sex trade and the human slavery markets and drug cartels. It goes deep into the pedophile market and orphan secure, and it goes deep into human rights violations globally, including in this country, and the satanic crew that's in Capitol Hill right now selling their souls to make America with a K. They plan to go to martial law under the PrEP Act if this dickhead is reelected, to fulfill the Illuminati plan for genocide in the Georgia Guidestones as defined in the Doomsday Monument that's been sitting in our country, carved in granite. Why no one's paid attention to it since 1980 in 12 languages. It's time to wake the fuck up. We're in 2020 and how long? I love you dearly. The people at the stuff I text you in Hollywood, there's a guy there named Brian. He's really on it. He helps with disabled people. He helps bring them food into a clothing area and a whole different section where they feed disabled people from the other main feeding, because they feed people 7 days a week there and around Hollywood. I don't know if you know how elaborate their plan is. They also have a juvenile division where they can help house juvies, and they have a senior division, all three different components. And on Wednesdays, UCLA and USC sends a team of med students and people up in there. Some lady, I think he's saying her name is Phyllis. And she is the one that if I meet with her in UCLA, and you can chime in and talk to her through him, or I'll have her contact you if you can't make it up there tomorrow night, but she might be a good contact for you. She can help seniors with approval get into that housing for temporary housing for recovery or whatever until they can get a Section 8 or whatever. Oh my God. Are you okay? Are you okay, dude? Do you need me to call somebody? A kid just crashed head first into cement. Dude, I'd get your head checked. Seriously, I've had those kind of crashes. You could have concussion. Be really careful, dude. You hit that really hard, face first. Get a doctor to check your face. It's pretty bruised up. Oh my God, this kid just crashed into a curb and was trying to beat across the street and went face. He had a helmet on, thank God, but went face first. Smashed his whole left face right into the concrete. I hope he's okay. When we get off the phone, I'll check him further. He dropped the light in the street. I'm walking out to get for him. My God, he's in his early 20s. Seriously, dude, get a doctor to check that. You don't want to have concussion or internal hemorrhaging. I've had 21 accidents. Here's your light that hit the street. Are you okay? Do you need me to call a doctor for you? Do you have a phone? Yeah, seriously, buddy. I can see your arms may be fractured. You may not feel it now, but seriously, I've done these crashes and the speed you were going into that curb. I'm surprised you're not unconscious. Be blessed. If you need help, I'll be right around the corner. You know, he's not a kid. He's in this about 35. He's picking up the phone now. His arms are just, they tore up from hitting the cement. His raw skin in his face.
Skating?
No, he was on a very high-speed trek bike, probably doing about 30 miles an hour, trying to beat a light in traffic, and went right into the high curb. And even though he's got on the bogey tires, his bike flipped and he went flying.
Oh!
Face first into the concrete right outside of the County of Los Angeles Department of Medical Health building run by UCLA. I know people there. At Washington and, what the fuck am I at? Washington and, is it Sepulveda maybe, or Sawtelle here in Culver City? I'm just outside the Culver City facility. I was heading over to see some people in Venice and back to Hollywood tonight. I've been staying out of this West Side because I've had so many fucking. You're at Washington. I was just looking. Washington Sartell at 11303 Sartell in front of the UCLA Mental Health Building. They can get somebody here. You should, dude. I feel sorry for you, but I've done what you've done, and I'm on the phone talking with someone right now. I got to go in and get emergency groin hernia. Seriously, check your body out. You don't want to mess with it. He's calling to get help right now. He's on his phone.
He hurt pretty bad?
Yeah, he is. He's really dazed and confused, and he's like, he couldn't even look to see the address. He's like, do you know the address here? And he's sitting right underneath this the address I just read to him at UCLA. He's that dazed, he doesn't even know where he's at right now. He hit hard. I've done that. And when you face it, the one thing I've learned about concrete, it's not forgiving and it doesn't fucking move. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It's just going to stay there and break everything. I need oral reconstruction. I talk for a living, and I'm missing 5 major teeth right now that have been knocked out from these assaults, from these assholes hitting me with lead pipes and brass knuckles. And that's why I put in the information about victims of violent funds. Those should be available to your concerned people, because you're dealing with victims under the Marcy's Act. I don't know if you're aware of this, but through the DA, they have to give victims of violent crimes extra money because they're victims of crimes. And I have so many violent crimes on file that I even had a sergeant come up to me from LAPD who used to be a detective in Hollywood, and he said, I know you're a straight up guy and you're not full of shit. I've learned over the years, and people know who the hell you are, and we've left your cases open because there's a lot of linkage and you've been a victim of a lot of crimes, and all you have to do is start sitting on all these precincts to give you the case numbers and turn them up, because they are not cold cases, because you've made this matter so public. And to that alone, he can plug us in and help us through records and get us to the right people. I think you should try and plug into that as a resource for extra funding to help you get people into Section 8 quicker. If somebody can get a $25,000 check as a victim of a violent crime, that helps open some fucking doors for them right now. And God knows there's a lot of them. This one lady that I wanted you to talk to, who's not homeless yet, but has literally put me in some very compromising positions that I had to call the Department of Justice, was naked and going out of her mind on some other matters, which we don't need to get into right now, but she's involved with some of the stuff she's told me about her friends. I didn't want to know because they may be involved in some of the matters we've already covered, but more importantly, this lady is so dysfunctional that she was throwing sand in police and fire department that she insisted I had to get down to her. And she's from she's Venice, Marvis area, Santa Monica. She wants to sue the police department and fire department because she may or may not have been a rape victim. I did see her fighting someone off. She got 5 minutes ahead of me on the beach, was completely naked, and it took her an hour to come down enough to, when I finally was trying to get her clothes on her and get her off the Annenberg property, which is part of UCLA, and also the Bel Air Club, because security wanted the naked women screaming off the beach. I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Shine your light on me." And then all of a sudden she started screaming she was raped, she's a mother, she's a victim of a violent crime. And she's trying to ask me where she can get $1,700 because she needs to hire an attorney. There's just so many people who have been hurt in this city, and if we can help and around the world tap into those funds. There's federal funds through Department of Justice, there is state funds, and there are local funds through the county and the cities that is federally funded for victims under I think it's Marcy's Law. Are you familiar with that one, for victims of violent crimes?
No, I'm not. I am familiar with the victims of violent crimes, though. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, there's a Marcy's Law Act that you can pick up at any police or sheriff's department, and it breaks down all of the units that are all around the region. Like, it has one in Pasadena, Santa Monica. They're all over the place. They're just not well publicized.
Yeah.
And they have to fund if they get valid support and proofs that they were really a victim, and they have these medical and other housing and relocation and maybe identity change. I mean, when you've been a victim of some bad domestic violence, there are people who need to get into protective custody and get the frick away from the guy who still may be the maniac who didn't get arrested yet. Or they and their family may end up dead, or you'll have kids getting shot in schools. I mean, I don't need to, you're an expert in this area. I'm just saying there's extra funds I don't think your groups are available to or aware of that I can help you get you plugged into. There's also private funds like this through the Kellogg's Fund, through Annenberg, that they may not have talked to you about. For rape victims, there's a whole federal list I can get you. There's some even supported by other agencies, like I know the post office supports people who are victims of violent crimes, and if they're military or former vets and stuff, they even have job retraining stuff. There's a lot of services that people just don't know about, and it's time we get the word out there and stop the swamp monster from draining the swamp. And it's just, the world we're headed to is not really pretty if we don't get it cleaned up in the next 12 months, because if this current administration and the other ones around the world are elected, we are going to World War III. That's no doubt about it. They've got this plan. They want to cut world population down to 200 to 500 million. The rest of you, they don't want anymore. Get out of here. I'm sorry, what, sir? Are you okay?
Do you know where my front tire hit?
Yeah, you hit hard right on the curb, and this one, the high curb, and I literally saw the bike flip and you go face down, face first.
Did the bike hit me?
I think the bike did because it flipped onto you. That's why I think you're so dazed. Where are you from? Oh yeah, I can see swelling already, and look at your arms. Your arms are all torn up. Are you okay? Did you call somebody? Where are you from?
They're coming right now.
Who, the ambulance?
No, my company.
What company?
Metro Bike Share.
For which company?
The Metro Bike Share?
I don't know what, Metro Mindshare?
Yeah.
Who
They're
funds
on
it?
their way, it's okay.
What is Metro Mindshare? Do they help?
Bike rentals.
Their bike what? Bike rentals?
It's all right, though.
Dude, I hope you're okay. I hope you got insurance because you're like, where are you from? Do you know where?
I'm from, what do you mean, where do I live?
No, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Torrance.
From where?
Torrance?
Courts?
Torrance.
Oh, Torrance. So you're from Southern California?
Yeah.
Okay, because you seem so division, you didn't even know where you were at. Like, you're in Culver City, you do know that.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm Kurt. Kelly, if you need help, I'll be right around the corner here. Is there somebody you need me to call, or you can do that?
I got it.
All right. Yeah. Wow. He works for some bike company, he said.
Oh, that's probably why he wants to know if the bike hit him.
Oh, yeah, he did. It flipped right on him and smacked him.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have been hitting the curb. He hit the curb, smack on. That's why he flipped. I mean, he hit a curb that's about 12 to 18 inches high. That bike's not designed to jump 18-inch curbs. Even if it does have those bogey tires on it, he didn't have shocks on it. He wasn't preparing for a jump. He was just preparing for a sprint, and the sprint is what tubed him. I'm an expert biker. I've been biking for years. So when I'm being hit and run, it's not accidents that's targeting. I am an excellent bike rider. I ride 25 to 50 miles every day with a groin hernia, and sometimes 150 miles. And my biking log GPS will reflect, I'm not lying about that. For my age, I'm pretty fit aside from these assaults. I'd like to get my mouth put back together, my fractures in my skull put back together, and bones. I evidently have a cyst on one of my bones which is leaking. I don't know, that sounds kind of serious to me, but I haven't had time to go see an expert about it. Have you heard of a cyst on bones that have a leak from the internal bone because it's formed a hole?
No.
Yeah, that to me sounds serious, in addition to the groin hernia. So I have some issues I really need to get in and get addressed. When I did that last major x-ray and CAT scans where they said I had gone over the legal limit and they still kept wanting to go, when I got hit by the double-decker bus, thanks to Starline fucking Tours, 6 days before my birthday on Memorial Day at 4 in the afternoon in Hollywood Highland in front of tons of witnesses. That in itself should be, I would be a victim of a violent crime. And if I can find a good attorney, there's a tour bus that's going to be changing its name to World Peace Tours or something. They're not going to be running people over and have drivers who keep on going. I mean, the guy was like a sleeper cell. Plowed right into me and was smiling when I was doing it, even though the MTA supervisor was waving and screaming out of his vehicle, "This is a bike lane, get out of here, you're gonna hit this guy." And I was legally in the bike lane and he hit me so hard. Thank God I've done stunts and films, I knew how to jump and not die. Split seconds as he was slamming me and the bike into the side of the MTA supervisor's truck. I mean, some of the things that have happened have been that insane. And those are some of the nicer ones I'm talking to you about.
I bet.
If you ever want to hear my calls with the State Department where they told me if I didn't shut up about the Russian hack, they would turn my life upside down, make me look like a homeless criminal jackass. They've done as much as they can to do that. And I did thank them for calling to let me know that if I didn't listen to the president on the stand on orders to shut up, as Obama requested, and I got a call from John Kerry's office, Secretary of State, through my handler at Diplomatic Security Services Protective Intelligence Investigations, reminding me how highly decorated I have been privately by administrations as the #1 American patriot out solving global problems and help doing world peace. Gee, that's such a nice pat on the back when you're getting slapped right in the face for saying the truth. I've done 3 life sentences in foreign prisons for telling the truth about drug cartels working for us and the U.S. military. They didn't like that story coming out of Mexico, and I nearly lost my life down there 3 times, becoming a citizen of the federal system down there to shut up. El Chapo is right, he worked for us. I had the footage to prove it, and I had a signed document saying if I ever go back to Mexico with France, Canada, US, and Mexico, that I would forfeit US citizenship, be eradicated from US history, become property of the state of Mexico. If I went back a 4th time, they didn't want me back after 3 life sentences ever again to shoot footage of US military and cartels working hand in hand in Tijuana. I tell the truth because I think the world needs to know it. When I was 19 and dropped into a CIA drug wars and all expense paid trip, hey, congratulations on 10 years in broadcasting at age 19 turning 20. And I landed to machine guns, tanks, and machetes, and people ripping my shit apart. And I'm like, whoa, I'm with ABC News. And some guy tapped me on the back. I'm with the CIA. Shut up, I'll get you out of here alive. He's with us. And they start pulling up like a 5-star hotel, 15 minutes into a bumpy ride in Belize. I said, so whose fucking bright idea was this? Well, it was the White House, the State Department, the CIA, and ABC News, because they knew you were the most honest, objective, political reporter. You've been working since childhood at age 10. And I said, and I also was a guy signing paperwork to go to a foreign country because I wasn't going to Vietnam. I was going to be Brother Kurt Kelly at CKLW in Detroit. And they said, yeah. Long story short, I nearly lost my life there, and that's how I got the concert for the Americas to stop the war for 4 days and feed people in 1985, 5 years later, because I strong-armed everybody at the UN, and if you don't let me have what I want, the world's going to know how you nearly genocide a 19-year-old kid who wanted nothing to do with your wars ever. I've had to blackmail my own government to get things I need around the world because I don't like the way we run our country. It shouldn't be just us who can afford it. It should be just us for everybody. And we have some jackasses in Capitol Hill doing a lot of stuff that if I did it, I'd be in a federal penitentiary for RICO violations. They're taking so many kickbacks and backdoor interest. They all should be in a federal prison, and we should start over. That's my honest, professional political opinion growing up in this and being a 3rd generation to the Kennedy family. They like to shoot my family for telling the truth. JFK was my 3rd cousin.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a 3rd generation Kennedy. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. He was a triple Gemini. I am a triple Gemini. And I was born on the 31st. A whole lot of 3s going on. According to the Mystic Scale with date and time and all that other bullshit, I'm a 33. It doesn't come any higher on the numeric chart. It's supposed to be majestic, people who change time. I think JFK changed some time, but lost his head over it. So did Bobby. So did JFK Jr. when he was about to announce he was running for U.S. Senate. And Hillary called Clinton and the Bushes, and he's going to script the plan, what we got going here. And they said, don't worry. And Air Force One, with the Bushes landed the day ahead of time, and I got the same call that Bobby got about JFK from Ed Muchmore, my handler at the FBI, who said, where are you? I'm on the 405. What the fuck are you calling me on a Saturday for? What does the FBI need now? You sure you're not in New York? No, Ed, what do you want? Well, turn on the news. Your cousin just crashed and burned. He won't be running for the U.S. Senate. You need to keep your mouth shut. And hung up the phone. I turned on KFWB, and her JFK's plane crashed. It wasn't mechanical or pilot error. It was sabotage. But the Warren Commission was never released because the Bushes are still alive, and they pushed that back another 100 years so the world will never know that the shooter was bin Laden, and Oswald had nothing to do with it. He was some drunk with a rifle sitting next to him, and the driver was the final kill shot, and Jackie didn't say anything. That the driver turned around and blew his brains off because she was pissed he was fucking that Marilyn Monroe bitch, and he deserved to die anyway. Jackie let it happen and didn't say a word to the world. I'm sorry, I have some grudges. I've seen the files. When you're classified as high as I am, there's nothing I can't see if I really want to open a file. I'm not hacking. They clicked I agree. I developed the technology used for voice over IP, face recognition, credit cards, fingerprint. That's my technology. Audio video streaming, if you Google, I've worked with NASA, JPL. I have a genius IQ. I'm not a derelict. I want to help you help people. I need people like you to stand up and make this world listen. It's wrong what's going on in the world today. This is not how we're supposed to be getting along. Self-will run riot is the worst sin of all. When I can make you my bitch and break your will to do my will, your God is not better than my God. And if he gives you 72 virgins for hurting people, that's called Satan. Call it whatever you want. This is Extinction 7. Google it. Life is more like the Matrix than it is the Bibles that cram down your throat that no God ever wrote. The architects of time from infinity to infinity are really pissed about what's going on planet Earth. This is Extinction 7 here, and they've already annihilated 7 other planets in this universe alone. There's a parallel universe, never a straight answer hasn't told you about, where they have already discovered, thanks to quantum physics and other stuff, Einstein and people like me have helped them figure out that there's a parallel universe with 7 planets inhabiting life like Earth right now that they're trying to figure out how to infiltrate. I don't think that's going to happen if they fuck up this one. This will become your dark abyss if they blow up this planet. It will rock this to the dark hole. What they see is not a big planet or a ship coming towards you. You're seeing the future coming if they don't start to reverse the destruction of the last planet in this atmosphere. This universe will be the dark hole. Love you dearly. Thank you for tolerating such a long conversation.
It's been my pleasure.
I really, truly would like your help pulling this off, documenting it, and let the world know how to get help with people like you and resources available that they don't know about. If I got to exploit my whole life, I just gave those rights away to a film company and said, exploit whatever we have to do on my life story to pull out this concert for world peace, the film on Martin Luther King, the Kennedys, and several others we have on the slate with Gary Rebel Films. It's about $1 billion film slate we've been trying to get done for several years. I'm tired. I want to get that done in the concert for world peace, and then maybe I'll go retire again.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I retired my first time in 1995. It's time to retire again. I just need a fucking break. But
let's get you retired.
Got to get through 2020 and get the world out alive, and then I'll take an exit to the next universe or wherever I'm supposed to time travel to. I'm done dealing with sheeple on Earth who have no care about anybody around them except their own selfish interests. That to me just makes me want to vomit. You care.
Yeah.
I need more people like you. It's going to take an army to stop World War III. No one wins World War III except the jackasses pushing the buttons. And they all have selfish interests. If you notice, Trump, Putin, and Tuk and Chew, nothing in it for anybody else except them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheeple need to wake up, or this world will be filling. Think of Hollywood this way: Armageddon, Fifth Element, all these movies about destruction and end of time. All we've been doing is foreshadowing what we knew was going to happen. If you can imagine it, we've already done it in Hollywood, and we can do it again. We can end this planet, and you're accepting it because you're buying tickets to it. Hey, let's go to Chainsaw 14 and see how we can cut people up again. Come on, at some point, can't we get some good movies on that show you how to be a good human being again and have some manners and some self-respect, and not kids coming out of rooms going, high five, we got the most kills. Bullshit. How about high five? I was a good Samaritan today. I did the most good deeds around the city. Teach them well from the beginning. We haven't learned since Attila the Hun and the Gladiators. We still send kids out to murder each other and play video games where they're killing each other at age 10. No wonder we have people blowing each other away on the streets.
Yeah, you're right.
Hello? Garbage in, garbage out. I love you dearly. Please help me change the world. Or let's get ready to go to another universe. I'm getting the fuck off this planet. I'm going to be calling up the people who are working on those ships off the planet. I'm going to take one of those $250,000 vacations off this fucking rock if you guys want to blow it up. I'm done with this stuff. I don't want to see another annihilation. I've lived through enough.
I don't want to see it either.
Bless you. Bless you always. Thank you for listening. Can you make it up there tomorrow, or do you want me to have them call you tomorrow? What works for you? And think about
Why don't you have them call me?
I did text you the number of the guy I talked to last night and their number up there in Hollywood and the address. You have that in the text I sent you earlier. I know I send you a lot of data. I'll try and get a hold of Brian. I'm not going to get up there tonight. I was supposed to see him tonight. I definitely will be up there tomorrow night because that's when I can meet this Phyllis lady who can say I can get into their other care there. Also, the captain in Santa Monica, he said if you contact him and just tell him that I had referred you, he said he can help with other people you may need housing for under these circumstances at other Salvation Armies, like maybe in Bell, Pasadena, Hollywood, and they have some family ones over in Westwood. He said, please have Katie call me. So call him. What
about getting you housing though?
Well, he suggested that I could get on a Bell, blah, blah, blah. That's why I decided to go up to the Hollywood people because I got too much shit going on in Hollywood anyway, and talk to them directly. And they said, yeah, tell people concerned to help work with these people at UCLA, and we can probably put it together for you, especially under your circumstances. We just need a doctor to sign off to get you into the surgery, and then if you don't have other housing available, maybe we can slide you in here if we can find a room, and then they can help expedite the other housing with the other funds. We've talked about that. It'll give us time to make the applications. I know it's a lot to get done, but you know, there's a lot of money sitting on the table, and we'll take some of it to heal me and the rest to put towards council world peace and help save other people. I don't need all the money. I just need to be well enough to do a live broadcast next October. I want to upset global elections. I want people to wake up in time before they put people in for 2021 who are only going to make sure they're gone.
Yeah.
Either that or I've sold my own soul short, and I won't do that.
Kurt, I just pulled into school, so
Have a great
I gotta
night.
go to class.
Bless you so much. Let me know tomorrow when you get a second, and if you need me to come in and see your doctor there to expedite, I'll do that. You had somebody you wanted me to see there. We never got a date and time, so if you can get me a firm appointment, not one where I sit in the lobby. There's too many people in Santa Monica who want my ass kicked in the Kingdom Come because they think I'm their problem. I don't need to have problems in the lobby. I want them. If it's 3 o'clock, I'm here. I'm in. Go.
Okay.
If you can do it. If not, I'll go to a private place where you want me to meet them, or maybe they can do it up in the place tomorrow night. I don't want to create a public scene sitting around. Could get ugly in anywhere I don't sit. Be blessed. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later, Kurt.
Bye.